So today I want to share with you a card that I'm making for Altenew's Stunningly Simple Watercolor Academy. And I'm choosing to do a watercoloring on embossed image, heat embossed with embossing compound. So I've chosen the Altenew Platinum embossing compound, and I've embossed these images on watercolor paper. It's the striped floral set from Altenew. I'd had this set for quite a while and really never used it, and I really love the set, so this was the perfect opportunity, I thought. So I've got them on watercolor paper. It's 140-pound Canson paper. I will tell you that I'm not sure that I like this paper with the ink choices that I chose, but I'll continue to work through that. So I've already done some of them on watercolor over there to the right, and now I'm going to make a background, and I've taped watercolor paper down to my board so it's going to, cause less warping, and I'm going to use some of my re-inkers and a smooshing technique with acetate. I'm sure you've seen that before. So I'm just wetting my paper down with a sprayer and then spreading the water around with a paintbrush. I thought this was going to be the easier way. And I'm using several of my Altenew re-inkers with the acetate. And I'm going to drop some of them onto the acetate, put some water on there, and I'm going to smoosh it around. So I'm choosing to put in, lots of different colors. There's my greens. I'm using some frayed leaf and some parrot, and you can see I'm just fast forwarding this through there, washing things off as I go, adding more color, and just smushing that all in. I have some mango smoothie. I have some orange cream in there. Peach Perfect. I've added some pink of cotton candy and a little bit of Rubelite. And then gone back with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of evergreen. So I'm going to let that lay to the side and dry now that I've got it done. And now I'm going to paint my images. I'm just prepping each one of these with some water, dipping in some of the ink. You can see my palette up there to the right, and letting it spread. So I've used all consistently the same colors throughout, and just using these re-inkers. It's the first time I've used the re-inkers versus smushing my pad down onto the surface and picking it up that way. So I'm just preconditioning each image, and with being embossed, the water's going to kind of well up in that image. And you can see I'm using my paper towel, and I can pull some of that out. And again, because I wasn't having, be honest, as much luck with the way I thought the paper was reacting, I was just layering a few more colors, but it was working out just like I wanted to. So watercolor to me is free and easy, and you just let it kind of flow, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I love about it. So I finished those images, and you can see I've got a page of them done now that I can cut out, and then these are the ones I've already done. And I pre-stamped and colored a lot of images here. You can see the different ones that I've got. Looks a lot like what I just finished up there. So I have them all ready to go, and you can see that looks a lot like that other flower. So I also did some on white, and I decided not to, use them for the feature project, but I do have a project I use them for. So cutting them out and wetting them down, I felt that I needed to add the ink all the way around it. I needed to actually put some ink on the little edge that's outside of the embossing from the die cut. They were disappearing. So this just shows you could do it before you cut them out, but I'd already cut most of the images out, so I needed to just go in and color it. This is so simple. Just throwing in some ink and dabbing it off. And here's the bonus card that I did. I think it's a lot of fun, and I basically layered everything, but you can see I needed to kind of darken up some of those edges. And I really like this card a lot. Just a real simple black and white. And there's my new favorite, Altenew dotted washi. I love that stuff. Adding some sequins, and it's ready to go with a cover plate on top of there. So I had a good time doing that card. So back to my original card, my paper is ready to go here. I've got it ready. It's dried. I've taken it through my die cut machine and flattened it down, okay? So it's ready to move on. I've actually sprayed some metallic, Altenew, the new gold metallic spray, antique gold. And I just take the lid out a lot of times, though, the top, and I just kind of dap it on and splatter it onto my paper. This has a little more than that, but I like adding the dots. So I've got an Altenew watercolor stripes die cut cover plate there that I'm going to layer on top of it. And that's going to be the base for the card. So I have all these images now that I've already pre-done, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with them, how I'm going to put them together. So I'm going to start putting the card together. I can glue down my watercolor paper. I'm using some washi tape, using score tape. And putting it on the card front. Now I'm going to use some liquid glue, and I'm going to put the panel on there. And I'm just kind of making sure that it's down. I put my block on top of there. Now I have a smile cut out and embossed. That's from the Halftone Smile. And so I'm pre-done most of this. I'm just making a layout here, trying to decide where I want to put all these little pieces and how I want them to lay in this bottom corner. And when I get somewhat of an idea, I'm just going to glue them all on. You can see that I'm just laying them on, putting my block on there to make sure that they're sticking as we go. The stems, you can cut some of the stems off. You won't need them. You don't want them to be in the way. I've popped out of the big flower, and I've decided to put this little yellow one up there over like the bud. So now I need to put my sentiment on there, and it's got all that, foam tape, so I've got all that put on there, and there's a little dot for the eye. So now I want to put some type of bling, so I'm putting just some little crystal dots on top of there, playing around where I want them to go, looking to see if I wanted to use some sequins, but they really didn't work. So I've attached all those with the glossy accents. Once I get them in place, I like the glossy accents when I'm doing these types of gems because they will stick better, and I like the fact that it's just that real glossy look. So I had a good time making this card. I love to watercolor. It was just fun, and to me, watercoloring is just free and easy. I'm very happy the way that it came out, just adding these last little touches to it. And I have another card at the end. I'll just give you a little closer look of the white card that I completed. And you can see I'm still, where do I want to put my gems? Just can't decide. And I'm finally making my decision. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope that you will do some watercoloring. There are so many mediums that you can choose from. Again, watercolor, actual watercolors and palettes. I just chose to do the inks today and to see how they would play. I love it. Made the background out of watercolor, and I watercolored the flowers with the embossing. Try the embossing technique if you haven't before, because it makes it so easy. And you can see I haven't glued everything down. I'm showing you that, you know, some things are popped up. There's a lot of dimension in this card. So thanks for stopping by today. Don't forget to check out all those Altenew Academy classes that you can take. I've had such a great time the last couple of months looking at all those classes, and I've learned so much. Have a good one. Bye.